how to build Sword and Shield Escanor, you'll see one of these videos. And I didn't pick them based on the person, I picked them on the video topic. Because how is it that everybody says the same information when they're all wrong? And we're going to start with Zeradith because I don't have anything against him. But I think if you're going to make a video criticizing somebody, I think you should be open to criticism as well. So we're going to listen to each of the parts here, and then I'm going to jump in game and I'll show you what exactly they missed, okay? And I'm just going to have a little bit of fun with this because, hey man, Zeradith claimed to be the guy to listen to now. It would be funny if I could point out a mistake, right? So again, this is just for fun. I don't really care if you subscribe, like the video, whatever. I really don't care, but I talked about this topic before anyway. I just thought more people should know. So let's go hear what he has to say.
Because everything is being dumped into normal attack damage as well as fire attack increase.
So I don't really have a problem with the normal attack build. You can either do that or you can focus crit damage with the Black Flame. So here he goes with the normal attack, but I will point out something that I think he kind of missed, or maybe he didn't realize. It's kind of difficult to keep track of everything when you're recording live, so I'm gonna cut him some slack. But he talks about fire attack increase first here, and then let's go here.
Right. So optimally,
keyword optimally, that means the perfect build, okay?
If for the perfect 4-set,
perfect,
you would want normal attack increase.
All right, that makes sense because he's using the normal attack shield. That wouldn't really make sense if you're using Black Flame. That's not your #1 enchant.
Fire attack increase.
Oh, really? You want some fire attack? All right. We'll see why you want fire attack, but let's go ahead and listen to the rest of it.
You would want defense percentage.
Very good. We definitely do want defense percentage. What would be the fourth stat that we want, man?
And then after that, health.
Health? Really? That's all you could do? Obviously, he missed fire damage. That's probably the second thing you want after defense, because usually you don't get attack on your weapons when you're using elemental, but because he uses defense, you do get defense as an enchant, so you can get both all the elemental damage increases as well as his main stat, which is defense. So he missed fire damage or crit damage, but let's move on. Okay, so that's Zeradith. If you want to use this build, you can. I don't really use it. I use the Black Flame Sword and Shield. I can't say which one's better, but let's take a look at this one.
I don't remember if you can get here fire.
Oh, let me slow it down for you guys. All right.
You can go for fire attack. I don't know. I don't remember if you can get here fire attack.
Okay, so same thing. We should go for fire attack, apparently.
I think that probably not.
All right, and then here comes another piece. He says,
I think that probably his best weapon is this shield.
He said probably, so we'll cut him some slack. All right, that's a cop-out. But has he, or even Zeradith, well, I asked him, Zeradith hasn't, so points for that, but has Shadow tested this weapon versus Black Flame one-on-one with the same setup? Can you really call it the best without testing? I'm sure someone will do that soon, but we don't know yet, I hope. Otherwise, I'm gonna look like a dummy. And then here comes another banger.
Go with dot efficiency.
Dot efficiency, so DOT efficiency.
Dot duration. That
DOT duration.
Can staff DOT, okay?
Okay, DOT on a weapon that does not give you DOT. If you said debuff duration efficiency, I would kind of understand, because your normal skill does give you a debuff duration or debuff on the enemy, lowers their fire resistance. So if you said that, that would have been fine. Though why would you go for DOT efficiency on a sword and shield? If you said that for the greatsword, that was fine. Again, complete misinformation. And all right, let's listen here for a second.
Then here in the engraving bonus, we should go for dot efficiency, DOT.
Yeah, go for DOT efficiency when the unit does not give you DOT efficiency. If you have Gila, maybe go with her because she applies burn on the enemy, and that's considered a DOT. Not only does he say that you go for DOT efficiency, he doesn't even mention defense percentage, which is going to be the biggest one on the engraving bonus. And then after that, you would go for crit damage. And after that, if you wanted to normal attack damage for the weapon, if it's a Breath of Glory, you would go for normal attack damage. If it's a Black Flame, you would do ultimate move damage because his ultimate does a lot of damage if you crit. So that's another thing. Fire attack again. Here we got DOT efficiency for some reason.
Your game, health. So as you get to see, I have 2 of the 4. So the big 2 ones.
Okay, to be fair, he here does say that afterwards. I kind of missed it, but we'll add it in here. He says defense percent and normal attack increase because of, again, the Breath of Glory.
Those are going to be normal attack damage increase and defense. Those are like.
So there we go. So if you get those two, again, very good choices for this weapon specifically. Now, Beats' video, he actually does talk over the weapon enchant, and even though it says new Sword and Shield build, so I'm assuming you're telling people that this is the new build that they should be using. I know he's got 33,000 subscribers, all right? I don't want to hear it. Now, if you blink, you're going to miss it, so let's take a look at his weapon. Here we go. He's got equipment defense, so I'm assuming this is just a throwaway weapon. But if you're going to call your video a build video, all right? If you just said showcase, I wouldn't really care that much. But you call it a build video, you don't go over the weapon that you're using because you couldn't be bothered to put on the roll on your weapon. Like, what is this? I get it, this is a throwaway weapon, but why does it have equipment defense? No other unit scales with defense that does damage. What is this role? Like, I'm so confused. No fire enchant, not even a basic legendary spell bead. So he just skips over this because, I don't know, people think that they're not going to notice, but thankfully he doesn't mention fire attack, so maybe he misses it, but whatever it is, he gets a pass. All right, so we have another video here. I don't want to bash this guy because, again, he's very small. I applaud him for actually making a video. But let's take a look. Of course, same thing here, fire attack increase. He doesn't actually tell you to go for fire attack, so again, another bonus point, but he does have fire attack, so I'm assuming he doesn't know either. Last but not least, we have tap screen. I actually like the guy. It's very cool. He's doing something cool with the damage calculator. This is why I also kind of stopped doing guide videos that much. I just more so do showcases for fun. But let's take a listen to what he has to say about Escanor's build. So here, where Zeradith messed up a little bit, is that he doesn't have his weapon limit break 4. He does say if you do have a limit break 6 on this, or 6 stars, you'll do a lot more damage. That's obvious. But the thing is, when you get this weapon to level 4, that's when you can argue that it's a lot better than the Black Flame, because you get 12%, I can't see it here, you get 12% elemental damage increase, so that's 12% fire damage on this weapon that it comes with. So that's when you can say that this weapon is definitely better than, let's say, a Black Flame weapon, because this crit damage amount will not go up, right, with the limit break, and you only get crit chance from your limit break on the Black Flame weapon. So tap screen did do the right thing here by limit breaking this to level 4. But let's see what he has to say here.
The glory, 3-star, normal attack, fire damage. That's what
Alright, so he says we want normal attack and fire damage, same thing as Zeradith, and then let's see what he says after.
we want on there. Then the rest could be fire attack.
Oh really? Fire attack now, can we? What else?
And then ultimate skill damage.
Ultimate skill damage. Hello, where's the defense percent, dude? Why? Like, why are we so spread across from this? Anyway, that's some of the videos I found. I'm sure there's more out there, especially non-English speaking, but let me show you why they're all wrong, okay? Now, this is not to say that this is how it's gonna be, okay? I'm sure this will get fixed, but I actually gotta take a look at this. All right, so before anybody criticizes me for my build, let me show you what I have. We have 34k defense, we have 40% basically crit chance, 130% crit damage, a little bit of fire attack, and a little bit of fire damage increase. Here, I didn't go for anything specific. I just took whatever I got. But you can see I did focus on crit damage here. Now, there's another issue that almost nobody mentioned, I don't think. The reason Black Flame also ends up being better by a little bit is because if you can roll a level 3 on this, okay, you see the cooldown is 75%. It's a 100% cooldown reduced. So you're doing your skills a lot more often, which in turn does give you some magic gauge, which is not a lot, but given how often you do your skills for Escanor, you get these magic gauges back, and then you just switch between your ultimate back and forth. And so when you're in the overheat mode and you're doing the skills and you're tagging back into preheat or ultimate moving back to preheat, you still get the magic gauge, and then this actually gives you some magic gauge back. I'm not sure the exact amount, but let's take a look at my gear, okay? This pretty much sucks. Like I said, in engraving bonus, you want defense percentage increase, crit damage, cooldown reduction, ultimate move damage, or if you're going for Breath of Glory, you want normal attack damage. So I didn't re-roll this, I just kept whatever I got. And then I have a level 2, a level 3 obviously would be better. And then for my weapon, you'll notice I don't have fire attack. I took it off. Now this is where the thing comes in. They don't know that fire attack doesn't work. And I'm sure it's gonna get fixed soon, hopefully, because it's been an issue since he came out, which I don't understand why nobody else is talking about it. It's really stupid. But they give you an engraved set that basically doesn't even give you what it's promising. So we have cooldown reduction. I just kept it just because, but because I got the fire damage and then the crit damage with 17%, I took it. But a better roll here would be defense percentage. And again, with the Black Flame, you do want to get the ultimate move damage if you can. And like I said, limit breaking it doesn't really do much for you. You get some crit chance if you burst, which is a lot harder now than it was before. So again, if anybody can prove me wrong, just let me know in the comments. But what we're gonna do is, you see this ring, okay? We're gonna take it off. We have 400 elemental attack. We have 550 fire attack. We're gonna take it off. All right, so we're gonna go in there without the ring and do 2 types of damage. One is gonna be without a burst on the enemy. We're gonna take note of the number, and then we're gonna burst the enemy and see if that changes anything once we come back. So 5200 non-critical. See, 12,000 critical. Now, I'm just going to trigger the burst on this enemy. Alright. And we're going to do a normal attack. 11,000 critical, 6,000 non-critical. Let's see if we can get a 11,000, 14,000, 10,000, 14,000. Right? So we're gonna keep track of the number 4, 6, 11, 14. All right, that's all we need. 4, 6, 11, 14. Now let's go ahead and put on the ring and see if that changes anything. We get elemental attack and we get fire attack, so this should do something, right? And I already tested this with fire defense, so there is a piece where you can get defense percentage that is from the Albion, I think, that the secondary substat here is defense percentages. If you have that, you could use that, and then the chance piece can also, you get lucky, you can get defense percentage. But just for testing's sake, even if you got all elemental defense or fire defense, kind of like how elemental attack works, this is not going to do anything. So now that we have the fire attack ring and some elemental attack, we're going to go and see if that does anything. Again, so we had on the burst. All right, so now with that ring, we're going to go in. We had 4, 6, 11, 14 as our damagers. And then here we have non-crit 5,200 and crit we have 12,000. 5,200, that was the same as before. And then critical. Let me make sure. 12,000 non-critical. And we're going to burst the enemy just to make sure. Oh, did not mean to do that. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. 6, 13, or 14. I said 4, 6, 11, 13, or 14. So 6, 14, 6, 11. So as you saw, we put on the fire attack ring. We had some elemental attack in here. None of them made a difference. And I already tested this with fire defense or all element defense. Again, technically it should apply, but you just have to hope that you get defense percentage as a chance-based bonus. So honestly, that's why I kind of stopped making guide videos, because there's just so much to account for. And realistically, not everybody's going to be able to do that. I switched to more showcase content, but even in the last couple of videos, I said don't copy my builds, because look at this. What is this on Daisy, dude? I should be having 2 set him of regeneration, the pants for regeneration, but I just went for as much HP as I can because I was having fun with it. So 20% HP here, and then 10% HP here, some HP percentage here. As you can see, that's a lot of HP, and then we came out to 96,000. Same with Clotha, we got 8 piece. Don't even have this upgraded. You can use the Valentine set with the healing efficiency. So, you know, once you get the hang of the game, you can build your own units like very easily. If you guys want to see the video on that, where I tell you exactly how you can build any unit, I doubt this video will get 100 likes, but 100 likes and I'll make that video just because it's a lot of work. But anyway, I just thought it would be kind of fun to actually talk about this issue with Escanor. The bigger issue with Escanor, the guide stuff is not really that big of a deal. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. Again, also we had an hour-long discussion on the raid, just talking about it, messing around, having some fun. If you want to see that, I'll leave it on the screen. You can just listen to it on the background. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.